Okay, Riley, I just got done watching some of your video. Honestly, it was too stupid to really go through all of it. And I'm gonna try and make mine quick. So, excuse me, guys, for talking quick and getting to the point really quick. But let me. First of all, you're talking about the 1940s when the tax bracket for the rich was at the absolute highest. Just so you know, that was only being charged for working income. And I think stock investments, stuff like that, of which you can legally charge for stock investments. Technically, you can't legally charge people for their working income, but that was during a war, so they kind of broke the rules. I can't say I agree with it, but it happened. Anyway, so basically, what you're promoting for is basically the government overstepping its bounds. And here, how much money do the top income earners make? Financial Samurai. Let's see. It just goes in and about it. Here we go from 2015. Oh, that's Australia. Blah blah blah. 400. Anyway, you know what? But here we go. I honestly, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be biased. Birds, blah blah blah. I don't really care. Okay, so everybody earns 1 million a year. Being a millionaire isn't very special anymore. You know what I mean? Here we go. Where is it? Oh, 20 million a year. The income level for poverty must be redefined. Everything is relative. Let's learn about each of the income, shall we? It goes on about pretty much what you were saying on your video. Okay, fine. Here we go. U.S. global investors. What does it take to be in the top 1%? Not as much as you think. It just goes on about it. San Jose, California. Here we are, again, a liberal city. If these people really cared, we need socialism, it's going to work, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. Why don't they donate their money? Riley, why don't you donate your money? I have videos of me going and donating, a bunch of stuff, costumes, presents, and stuff like that to the children's hospital. I'm buying it. I have someone else give it to them. The people who get it never know I did it. They have more of a chance in thinking that the person I gave it to donate for me is the one who did it for them. You just sit there saying we should take those people's money while giving none of your money. Don't forget, you're still an American citizen, so you actually have to file your taxes for the US. So not only do you have to pay your Australian taxes, you have to pay whatever it is the difference would be for the American taxes too. So, I mean, are you let's see those tax reports, Riley. Why don't we see how much you're making? Or aren't you illegally working because you're making money off of YouTube? I mean, are you reporting those? How much are you losing in taxes there? I'm just wondering. Why don't you put your money where your mouth is, man? Let's see. Oh, here we are. Just a couple. Oliver versus Holstead. It just goes in a couple of things, saying what I said about yes, the Supreme Court's ruled saying that actually, if you go through all these, what they can and they cannot tax. If you have money in investments like stock investments, they can tax you. Working income, they cannot tax you, not legally by their own rules, because that is compensation for you going to work. It's basically like a woman who sells her eggs. They legally cannot pay the woman to buy her eggs. They can, however, pay her for the like I guess the time, whatever else. They can say, well, this is for your time, and this is for whatever discomfort you went for. But they cannot legally charge her for the eggs or pay her for giving them or for selling her eggs to them. Look into it if you don't believe me. Due to the shareholder, there's a lot of it just goes into about it, and it's from the New York Times. It just talks about how yes, rich companies such as corporations actually owe their investors something. They owe them. Investors are people like me because I invest in companies. Those companies actually owe me. I am a regular guy. I go to work. I do this for free because I don't agree with what YouTube does. Therefore, I'm not going to make any money off, or I'm not going to make any money off of them, so they won't make any money off of it either. I'll just say the hell with it. Also, you're like, oh, and the government doesn't just hoard that money; they give it to people. They can use it to pay. The rich also don't hoard it. Think of all your bills. You got your water, you got your electricity. I don't know about obviously not food, but let's say toilet paper, stuff like that. A company, well, maybe a food if you're a grocery store. Companies, however, have to pay for that stuff. They got to pay for the maintenance on the building. They got to pay for the property tax. They got to pay for electricity. They got to pay for the water. They got to pay their employees. They have so much to pay. You don't. You do have a lot to pay, obviously, but not as much as them. Uh, think of your electric bill for one place of where you live, and then think about it for an entire building that fits how many people? running how many hours a day? And then let's look at a place like Walgreens, which runs 24/7. Obviously, it's no wonder they go for the solar panels. Here we are, rising number of wealthy French fleeing abroad. Keep in mind, this is them with their, I believe it was the, I don't know why that doesn't go down more. Oh, for their 70% tax or 75% tax. It was somewhere between 70-75%. And this is only for the super wealthy. Pretty much what you're saying, what you're suggesting. They fled. And then it went to everybody else. Countries of millionaires are leaving in their droves. New Zealand got 4,000 extra millionaires. So exactly where all these mega rich migrants heading? New Zealand, for starters. The affluent Antipodean nation is a veritable millionaire magnet, attracting a total of 4,000 last year. You could enjoy the high standard of living, lack of corruption, and stable political and taxation system. In other words, they don't have to worry about getting taxed more. Countries millionaires, here we are. Canada extra millionaires. The Canadian government rolled out the red carpet for millionaires, migrants, and introduced a new immigrant investor venture capital scheme in 2015 offering citizenship and extra wealthy foreign nationals who pump money into the country. They're cutting them breaks. Country millionaires are leaving again. I'm just doing this to make it quick. India, 6,000 fewer millionaires. A small stampede of millionaires have left India over the last 14 years, with 6,000 vacating the country. In 2016, a haphazard and unpredictable taxation system in which immediate payment demands are issued at random is one of the main reasons millionaires cites for leaving. Again, they don't know how much they're going to pay. Screw this, we're out. They can afford to. They owe nobody nothing. They took the time to start a company. They invested that. They took the risk, not you, not the person saying I am entitled to their money. Millionaire countries, okay, again. And keep in mind, this is, oh no, okay, that's MSN. France, 12,000 fewer millionaires. The recent spat of terrorist attacks on ongoing state of emergency, coupled with surge in support for extra right-wing parties and rising anti-Semitism, have also prompted thousands of millionaires to try their luck overseas. Okay, so here, and keep in mind, these are the ones I've been using, which is weird because, where is it? Huh. Well, whatever, that's what they're saying here. So, okay, fine, we'll go with it. I'm not going to change it. But obviously, I kind of doubt it was just terrorist attacks and so on. Because, well, let's see if it does say. Oh, no. Oh, okay. France, 12,000 fewer millionaires have been leaving France in their droves for 7 years now. Last year, the staggering 12,000 bid adieu to the country. High taxation has been a major catalyst among the top reasons high net worth individuals are quitting France. High taxations. In other words, yes, you're right. You can take more money from them and they'll still have a good amount, but they're not going to deal with it. If they're as rich or if the rich are as greedy as you claim they are, they're not going to sit there. Well, I lost $500,000 to taxes, but that's okay. I still have the other half, so I'm still going to be super rich. No, if they're as greedy as you say they are, they're going to leave. They're going to say, the hell with this. I'm out. Boom, done. And if a country's like, oh, we're going to charge you this much to leave, that's pretty much like a communist or well, not even socialist. That's communist. That's basically what Hitler did, Stalin did, and I guess you can call that socialist though. And it's you got to pay this much to leave our country. Oh, I'm sure you'd want Trump to have that authority. Be like, oh no, you can't get rid of denounce your citizenship. How would you like that, Riley? How would you like, even though you're there in Australia, Trump to have the ability to say, no, you cannot leave. But you know what? It doesn't matter. You're not going to watch this because anyone who doesn't agree with you obviously must be a right-wing troll. And you know what? I'm going to jump to this one. I'm sorry, taxing the rich. Is it worth it? It basically just goes on additional income, tax rate, deduction of labor. It was the first one last earlier in the year, but the conservatives have hated it from the word go. It just goes in. I believe it's just basically another. Oh no, actually, yeah. In the past year, there's been a considered campaign to fairly abolish the involving a variety of right-wing think tanks, what these business people and some economists. That was just over a third of all government taxes revenue that year with the national insurance. I don't know what the hell currency that is. Sorry, coming close to it. The tax pecking order. How much is rich pay? Quite a lot, in fact, and far more than most people realize. According to the Wealth HMRC figures on the topic, the top 1% of all income taxpayers contribute a whopping 27% of all income tax that year. By contrast, the bottom 50% of the income taxpayers pay just over 11% of income tax. 50% of the bottom. I guess that's what kind of BS. I guess close to middle class. I don't know. The highlights of the fundamental truth is that the UK has, as you move up in the income scale, your personal income tax bill is likely to shoot up. That's pretty much what you're proposing too. 2010, 26.3 million basic rate, 20% taxpayers paid. Okay, so 67.9 euros in the income tax, with the average personal income tax of 2,590 euros. 3.2 million higher rate, 40% income tax, 40% income, and the far fewer 250,000 additional ratepayers charged 50% of their taxable incomes over 150,000 paid 41 billion, I guess, euros, and frankly staggering average of 151,000 each. The key factor is, at least the super rich, is that there's no upper limit of their taxable income. Although there may not be many of them, they have income tax which are fantastically large, running into millions of pounds a year. That their individual income tax bills are huge too. Higher rate taxpayers endured an average of personal tax rate of 23 on their taxable income. So even then, 23% is not bad. But the additional rate payers paying at 50% on the top slices of their income at a personal tax rate of all their taxable incomes at 40%. No wonder some of them are complaining, putting all these figures published a year. Let's just see. We believe that we're likely to raise a little or no tax overall. In the short term, that leads to lower overall tax revenues. The medium and long term, it's said that is that interested scaremongering or just realistic. The wealthiest 13,000 individuals earning more than $1 million a year were estimated to have paid on an average of nearly $1 million in income tax each in 2010 to 2000. So astronomical were the total income some of them earned. It does not seem likely that they were all able to avoid completely the impact of paying an extra 10% tax rate. Okay, so 40%. That's actually what about you pay here, at least according to Peter Schiff. But the skeptical of the policy has raised enough to make it really worthwhile, to almost a greater psychological impact than the financial one, he suggests. At one end of the scale, it makes some people think that about tax planning, so they pay more as a capital gains and less in income tax. It's also sending out slightly adverse signals, sending a few people abroad and putting some off coming here. That's according to this guy. And how many did leave the euro? Let's find out. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to scroll through really quick. China, blah, blah, blah. Alright, okay. So, I actually didn't bother to look for the UK. I'm wondering where most of those Turkish have gone to look further. United States, Arab, which have welcomed. Okay. Total Federation 7 estimates. A low tax structure. Alright, no. No. USA. So, okay, extra millionaires, Australia. Okay, so at least Australia, the vast majority of rich migrants hail from China. Okay. So it doesn't really say how many are even there. All right, well, I don't know. We'll go with that then. Keep in mind, the BBC is super left-leaning, but at least I'm going to try. Again, like I said, I got to try and keep it unbiased. But even they're like, yeah, it's, they are paying. Okay, so here it goes. I'd say right here, 26.6%. And that's what the majority. I guess there's a few that pay the 40. But let's look at the whole thing, because you're in your damn caption or everything. People are sitting there like, oh, yeah, it's time for the rich, blah, blah, blah. How good it would be in time for socialism. Let's look at this. Let's see. The gross domestic product of the GDP of the North Korea was in 16.12 billion US dollars in 2015. The GDP, blah blah blah. Let's just look at the graph. So here we are. Their highest was 17.4. What is it? I guess billion. Okay, 17.4 billion in 2014. That was their highest historical. Let's see. Okay. Blah blah blah. Just goes into it. Let's look at South Korea. God, go away. Let's see. And here we are. At their absolute lowest, South Korea, which is more capitalist society, which is a capitalist society, didn't even hit that in their lowest. I mean, 17.4, 901.93? And you're going to sit there and act like, oh, dude, it's fine. The rich aren't going to, the rich don't mind. The rich won't care, blah, blah, blah. They have so much money, they don't know what to do with it. Bullshit. Honestly, they don't just sit there and hoard their money. They actually have to pay other things. They have to pay people. They have to invest in other companies. Hell, sorry guys. They actually have to pay people. They have to do all kinds of crap. They also have to, I mean, the rich are actually the last person to get paid because they legally have to pay the workers. They legally have to make sure the investors get money. They legally have to pay their other bills. Let's be honest. They legally have to do so much other crap. But yet, you're like, oh, it's okay. They're not going to mind because they're still going to be rich, so they're not going to care. I know I'm sitting here saying how they're super greedy and they don't care about anyone. But if we just charge them 70%, they're not going to care because they're so super rich. Or, I mean, even if we tax them 90%, because that's what we did here in the US, even though back in the US was the reason why there are such things known as Swiss bank accounts, because the super rich were able to go and put money in other banks and not have computers tracking them. They were not charged for certain. I think it was not charged for working income, and I forget what the hell else. I could be wrong, but there was a couple of things. And again, Peter Schiff talks about this, and the guy owns like what 18, 20 companies, so I imagine he knows what he's talking about. I don't know how many you own, Riley, but I'm just kind of imagining it's less than one. Anyway, your crap is stupid. It's offensive. It's annoying. I won't call it offensive, actually. It's offensively stupid. I'll say that. There's no facts behind it. It's just your emotion, just what you want. You're a man, not a woman. There's nothing factual. You claiming to be a woman. I'm sick of your shit. I'm gonna keep hounding you just because I was willing to let it go. And you just keep putting your crap out and your crap out, and it's so goddamn biased. So goddamn biased. You and Onision are some of the most biased people I've ever met. However, I prefer you over Onision. I really do. Because at least you don't have a thing for underage girls. Anyway, I'm sorry for that rant, guys. Uh, uh, anyway, please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Whether you agree with me, do you not agree with me? Your thoughts. If I'm wrong, please give me something unbiased, at least as unbiased as you possibly can, in my comments. Yeah, I don't know what else to say actually. I'll see you guys next time, and y'all take care.